Um, this is your boy, Yazzie Yahoo. So, I was thinking, do lessons this time, topics this time. So, we have Miss Yasharoon,
Hello.
who is the co host of Yazzie Yahoo Productions. How y'all doing? Okay, so topic at hand. Actually, we got a bunch of topics if you really just want to be honest with me. So, topic at hand, first topic at hand is honestly, so I seen a woman in the truth post her husband, and in the subtitle, whatever you want to call it, it literally said, "Finally, a real man cuts his hair." What is your thoughts on that? A real man cuts his hair.
My question is,
Uh huh.
what is her basis? What scripture says that? That's my question to her.
Right, right. What scripture says that? Oh, I know what scripture. Let's go to this scripture. Matter of fact, see, the thing with it is, when you're doing topics, no matter how you look at it, right? The other day we did a topic and it was called "Is the New Testament of Yahuwah?" Right? Y'all seen it? It's on there. Go watch it. Right? So let's go to this. Give me a second. So, 1 Corinthians 11:14, New Testament, Shaul. Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a shame unto him? What? You know the funny thing about that is, this is the funny thing to me. So Paul said nature states that if a man has long hair, is it not a shame unto him?
Mm.
Then he goes on to say, but if a woman have long hair, it is Kabul to her, her glory to her. For her hair gives her my bad. For her hair is given for her for a covering. Y'all heard that, right? First off, let me say something to y'all women who always talking about being covered, right? Since y'all, if y'all love Paul so much, right? He said y'all hair is y'all covering. But let's go to this. Paul said that. Now, if we go to the book of Numbers, and the reason why I'm going to the book of Numbers 6:5, right, is because I want y'all to think about something. For all of you men out there that claim you so close to Yahuwah, that claim that you are for Yahuwah, I want you to think about this. You supposed to be Yashruelites who are calling yourself Israelites, right? Israelites, right? I'm just saying Christians, right? Watch this. Numbers 6:5 says, in all the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled in that which he separates himself unto Yahuwah. He shall not, he shall be kadush or holy, and shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. Wait, wait, wait. I thought Paul said that nature said that that you should be ashamed to have long hair. Didn't he just say that?
Mm.
Didn't he just say that? That's 11, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14 and 15. So for all you men out there who come into the truth and the first thing you want to do, or you Christians, first the first thing you want to do is shave your head bald like the pastors that be in the pulpit. You do know if you go to the book of Maccabees and the book of Esdras, it constantly speaks about, and they had no courage, and they sat up bald head shaving. Their heads were shaven. They didn't even have no beards. They were shaven. Or they had fades. So I know somebody gonna say, it looks like your hair is cut. Let's be honest. When you make a vow, one of the biggest things is it's only two reasons to cut your locks. One, you defiled. Two, your separation is done. But let's be honest. We live in an age to where we should be constantly separated to Yahuwah. Our days should not be fulfilled. Why? Because there's so much that has to be done and so much that has to go into the separation. So when this woman said that finally a real man cuts his hair, actually, let's be historically factual, right? You do know in ancient Egypt, and every time that us Negroes, aka Yasharal, went into captivity, the first thing they did was cut your hair. Because it took away your manhood. Hey, how you doing? It took away from your manhood. What you mean? Listen, how can you take a manhood away? One, you actually take it. If you catch what I'm saying. Two, you make it permanent. Keep it as a reminder. Well, how you do that? Yazi, what you talking about? Cut his hair. Don't let him grow. Cut his hair. It demasculates him. It emasculates him. Which one is it? Demasculate? Emasculate. That's right. It emasculates him. It effeminates him. Then what you cut your hair for? Well, I was defiled. Once again, I gave you two ways. If it ain't either one of them ways and you just cutting your hair because of a woman, first off, men, remember, yes, we love women. We're not homosexual. But women were created for us, not us for them. Which means if she can't get in line, she can get behind. Bye. Hey, y'all keep talking about y'all modest. Y'all keep talking about y'all for the Most High. But then at the end of the day, how many of you women are literally ready to be in a position to be for Yahuwah, for the Most High? Because that actually entails that you have to submit to a man. It entails that you have to listen to a man. It entails that you have to be in a position to be ready to be his helpmate and to be everything that man is looking for. Because if you can't be, that means that you shouldn't be. So, fellas, she's telling you to cut your hair. She needs to go. If your family, your brothers, your cousins, somebody in the truth is telling you to cut your hair and they not giving you a liable, legit reason to cut your hair. Oh, the scripture says in 1 Corinthians 11:14, let's go back to that. Let's read that one more time just because it was funny to me. Just because it was hilarious to me. 1 Corinthians, do not even nature itself. Wait a minute. Don't they base everything off of the lion? These men who we always talking about multiple wives, which I'm not against it. Let me say that. I'm talking about you camp members. These men who have multiple wives, don't they talk about the Lion Kingdom? Mm-hmm. How can you tell the king of the Lion Kingdom? It's by his mane. Mm-hmm. Don't his hair grow long? Right. So what are you talking about, ladies? A real man finally cut his hair? You emasculated man who allowed a woman to convince you to cut your hair? Go ahead. Oh, well, I would just go say, no, go ahead.
So Ezekiel 44, chapter 44, verse 20 states, neither shall they shave their heads. It says, nor suffer their locks to grow long. They shall only poll their heads. Poll meaning trim.
Right. So what he's saying is, when you get your locks to a certain extent, you could trim them up. Right? You could trim. Notice, I didn't cut my locks off. I trimmed them. But the biggest thing is, what I'm saying to y'all is, to cut your hair, to cut your locks, It's literally scripture. Nature doesn't even go against that. Go look at the gorilla. If a gorilla could grow their hair long, I guarantee you that big gorilla would be up there with a big mane himself. We always want to compare ourselves to a lion. We the king, we are the tribe of Yahudah, which are the king, we are the lions. Why not? My mane is supposed to be long. Next topic. So can you read Ecclesiastes, Exodus chapter 23, verse 13, real quick? Exodus 23:13. I want y'all to really listen to this because I read this on multiple people pages. And in reading this on multiple people pages, I want this to be read, and then I'm gonna explain and prove why what I'm saying is what I'm saying. I'm not these other people who go force you to believe something that's not true. I don't care if you believe it or not. I'm just trying to prove you. I'm just trying to show you truth. That's the point, right? I don't have an agenda or anything like that. So, blah, 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 blah. Go ahead.
All right, Exodus 23:13. And in all things that I have said unto, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other mighty ones, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
Wow. Make no mention of the names of other mighty ones, nor let it be heard out thy mouth. Wait a minute, what you mean? But we don't say no other names. We only say the name of the Most High. Stop. For you who come into the so-called truth, but then you still call on G-O-D. Remember this, the O never existed, and how do you get the R sound, right? You put the G, and it don't, I used to say you put the A, because you do. You put the G, the A, and the D. What do you get? Father, forgive me, you get God. Just saying. Come on. The first letter of the alphabet is God. When you look up the first, when you say Gamal, it's Gamal, right? They say Gamel. It's not Gamel. The El is not a part of Yahuwah. El is wicked. It comes from wicked deity El, the sun deity, as well as, right? Baal, right? It don't come from Yahuwah. I'm just saying, y'all. So how we confirm this? Canuck chapter 68. It's 68 in my book. It might be like 71, 70, something like that in somebody else's book. But if you go read this, the beginning of the chapter, just to make sure, you know what I'm saying, it should entail, as a matter of fact, could you go to that in that book, because it might be different. So we're gonna look in the Sefer real quick. And if you got the book of Canuck, matter of fact, where's the book? Just in case. So go to 68, see if it's in 68. And if it's not, it should be around there. So it says, after this judgment, they shall be astonished and irritated. So I'm going to go to the other book over here, the book of Enoch over here.
Okay, it's 69 over here.
Yours. It's 69. Go to verse 6.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sure, verse what?
It's chapter 69, verse 6.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So the book of Enoch, so on my phone, is 68. So if you get the Lost Books, you got an Android, you get the Lost Books, which is the pink book. If you go to the book of Enoch, it's going to be chapter 68, verse 6. So, and then over here in the book of Enoch and in the Sefer, it should be 69, verse 6, which both read such as, and the third was named God Dra'al, right? God Dra'al. That's the name. Remember, the scripture says that the wicked one sought to deceive the whole world. How do you deceive someone? I can give you half of my name and it's still my name, right? So my name is Yazi Akayahu. If I give you Yazi, that's still referring to me. So he said, let me give them my name, shortened version. G-A-D. What does that spell? take the A out and it come into English, add the O, you get Godrial. It doesn't change. Right? So when I seen Father forgive me, Yahuwah please forgive me. The reason why we just read that in Exodus 23:13. So gotta ask for forgiveness because it shouldn't be heard out my name, out my mouth, right? When you look at somebody's page and they says that in the page, the girl page says that Yahuwah is G-O-D. You just said that Yahuwah is Satan. How can you put Yahuwah? You can't serve two. You can't say Yahuwah is the Most High and then say that he's the creation. It doesn't work like that. You can't say that he's the creator and the creation. Why? Matter of fact, let's go to the book of Romans real quick. Like I said, I asked the question the other day, is the New Testament of Yahuwah? Y'all finna find out. Romans chapter. Hey. Stop. Where it said, Romans chapter 1, verse 23, and change the kabod of Yahuwah, the uncorruptible Allua, into an image made like the corruptible man. Hold on. No. It's not 23. I'm gonna read 20. I'm just read down 25. So corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Wherefore Yahuwah also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Who changed the truth of Yahuwah into a lie and worship and serve the creature, which is a creation, more than the creator. If you're gonna say Yahuwah is Allua. He is not G-O-D. He is not L-O-R-D. You can't say Yahuwah is the Most High and then bust out and say he's a creation, which the creation that you're claiming he is a wicked creation. Come on now. Okay. Topic. Bing bong. Got you. Other topic. So we look at this situation, and the first thing we think is, y'all so busy, and we be so busy talking about the Christians, right? Before I even keep going, this is for educational purposes only. This is not for hate speech, violence, or to basically, this is a fact. This is not how they say it. This is not what's the word? Deceitful information, right? This is something you can study out and search out, as well as those who say that this is a deceitful information. Go check them. When you check them, go check your scripts, right? Go ahead.
People saying that the Apocrypha books are not of Yahuwah, but they claim the New Testament.
I think that is funny. For people that come into the truth, or Christians, really it's Christians, right? That say that the Apocrypha, my bad, or the lost books, watch this, the books that were taken out, deemed uncanon by who? None other than who?
Right.
Martin Luther, right? They said that these books were not orthodox. They shouldn't be read, right? Why? Why shouldn't they be read? They was in the original scriptures before y'all got to them. Before Christians got to these books, they were in the original scriptures and they was read. What wasn't in the original scriptures? Oh man, what's the New Testament? Wait, because if you think about it, if those was in the scriptures and the New Testament wasn't, and they took those out to replace them with the new, what does that tell you? Christians, I'm asking a question. I'm asking a legitimate question. Y'all keep talking about they took these books out because they wasn't, what's the word they say? What is the stuff they say? They're not factual. Ain't no way this could have happened. Ain't no way that happened.
That's what a lot of Christians claim. But the reasons why they weren't canonical, I think that's how you pronounce the term, was because they said that they are only meant for people of high stature in Catholicism, like bishops, who's
So
they're
hold
only
on.
meant for
So hold
people
on.
that were higher up
So
because they were so sacred.
right. So what you're telling me is, one, Catholicism, which has nothing to actually do with the scriptures, because the scriptures actually speak against them. They told you that they was only meant for them, and you couldn't read them. But then when you go ask the pastor or anybody else about something spiritual, they can't answer you. Why not? Because they was never meant to be taken out. The New Testament is a Greek translation. It is for Gentiles. Has nothing to do with Yasharal. Oh, but Paul was our brother. Paul was a mixed man. He was not Yasharal. Well, the scripture says you are what your father is. You're a liar and the truth ain't in you. The scriptures were speaking about the 12 tribes of Yasharal. The 12 tribes. If a man from Yahudah go get a woman from Binyamin, right? The child that comes from that is Yahudah. If a man from Levi takes a he can only take a lead. He can only take. So that don't even matter, right? If a man from Zebulun come and takes a woman from Dan, guess what the child is gonna be? The child is gonna be Zebulun, right? So what are we speaking? Even the scripture says, and there was children born of the Yahudi from the Amorites and the Moabites, and they could only speak in the tongue of the Moabites and the people of the land. They could not speak Yahudi language because Yahuwah wouldn't permit it. Once again, this is not for hate. This is not to. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. It's only two things that y'all can do. You can accept it, and you can literally live by truth, or you can deny it, which the scripture says, "My people are my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge." Literally, scripture says that, not me. Oh, but you're supposed to love every. Well, says who? Jeremiah 17:9 says the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? But then you go to the New Testament and talk about loving everybody. How? When Yahuwah said that he hates some people, he hates certain people, and he hates the actions that come from certain people. So how are you supposed to love them if Yahuwah hate them? Oh, my bad. You against Yahuwah. Yahuwah said he hate homosexuals. Y'all said I love them.
The other thing is how are you going to discredit those books when a lot of those books
are spoken of.
Right?
Jeremiah speaks about the book of Baruch. The books of Susanna. Susanna is actually a book of Daniel. Baruch actually goes with. Hold on, let me go to these books and I can tell you where these books go. So you got the book of Enoch. Enoch is supposed to be at the front. It goes in the scriptures. Enoch is literally credible sources that literally everybody from the Old T as well as the New T, when you talk about the Messiah, y'all want to talk about the Messiah, right? He spoke everything coming from Canute. Boom, told you, right? The book of Esdras, Tobit, the Maccabees, Bel and the Dragon, all of the prayer of Azrayahu, prayer of Manasseh. Manasseh was in the books of the Kings, the Chronicles. So what are y'all speaking about? Jasher, Enoch, Jubilees. These are books that go in the beginning. They go right after I think it's what? Right after
they go right after Thurah.
Yeah, they literally right after the Thurah.
Right after Deuteronomy.
Because the funny thing is, who wrote these books? Did not Uriah write the 5 books? Y'all say the 5 books of Moshe. I'm gonna say the 5 books of Uriah, right? AKA Moshe. He also wrote Yashar and Jubilees. Wisdom of Solomon. This is a book of Solomon. Then you also got the Psalms of Solomon. You got editions of Esther. Wait a minute. So these books don't, letter of Jeremiah or Jeremiah, Ecclesiasticus. Come on, so you saying that
Joshua 10:13.
Oh, I already know what you're gonna say. Go ahead. You want to prove it? Here go the book of Joshua right here.
And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher?
So Yashar, Joshua, is spoke about even in who? Joshua. So all of the books that y'all claim that are not supposed to be in the scriptures, they're in the scriptures. They're spoke of somewhere in scripture. Half the time y'all talk about that dude, y'all call him JC, or y'all talking about Yahusha, which Joshua name was literally Yahusha, right? Y'all forgetting. There was another Yahusha. Who you think Ecclesiasticus is speaking of? Oh, shut up, Brian.
Y'all
go ahead.
2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 18. Also he bade them teach the children of Yahudah the use of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher.
Huh. Wait, Jasher. So is that a legit book? Oh wow.
There's a book in here, the book of the Acts of Solomon.
The book of the Acts of Solomon.
1 Kings 11:41. And the rest of the Acts of Solomon and all that he did and his chokmah or wisdom, are they not written in the books of the Acts of Solomon?
So what are we speaking about? See, the difference though is what y'all gonna mess around is y'all don't want to read these books because one, they gonna make you stop living the lifestyle that you want to live, and they gonna make you live what you're supposed to live. Two, let me tell y'all something. When you read half these books, a lot of y'all do not want to take knowledge, and you don't want to accept that maybe there is a world out there that you do not know, but then y'all accept magic. Y'all look at witchcraft and y'all fear witchcraft. But then when the scriptures talk about this stuff, y'all say it ain't true. Y'all fear monsters and aliens. What is an alien? Do you know the definition of an alien? It just means a foreign entity on domestic soil or domestic lands, domestic whatever, right? You could be in the heavens or what y'all call the sky and living on a cloud. If I come up to that sky and I start walking on your cloud, I am considered an alien. I am a foreign entity on your domestic cloud. What you think a messenger is? They failed. Why do you think people in Greek, they say they got thousands of gods, thousands of mighty ones? Hinduism, thousands of mighty ones. What do you think these are? Who do you think these are? Aliens. The Anunnaki. It's spoken about in the scriptures. And y'all talk about they created man. What? Egypt. If you go to Egypt, you're going to learn some more than what the stuff they show you, what they want you to see, it's called is programming. They want you to see this stuff because they make you believe what they're telling you versus what you read. You go read the Tanakh, if you go read the Quran, even in these Moorish books that these people are talking about, y'all better pay attention. The Moors be trying to discredit us, but go pay attention. Once again, let me say this. To you Moors, I have no quarrel with you. There's nothing against you. I promise you. I have nothing against you. So let me say that first. I ain't got nothing against y'all. Let me put that out there once again. I have nothing against y'all. So with that being said, topics, man, I think there were some good topics. We go let y'all go from there. And yeah, I'm gonna say shalom. Shalom. Once again, this is Mr. Yahshua Yahudah, Yazi Yahoo, and Yada Yahoo.
So